This is full squad.
Really?
You. Oh. Gentle arm. Me.
Yeah, go ahead and kick it on over there at your box. Boom, check out Laka. And hey there, welcome back to another House of G. And happy Monday to you. Hope you had a great weekend. And we are kicking off another week here. And well, yeah, the Galaxy's lost its freaking mind, if you ask me. Dude. But life keeps on living. You gotta keep on trucking and whatnot. Speaking of which, you know, yeah, one of the things going on. Gosh. Hold on to your seats there, guys. Things are going to be getting, if you thought the last couple of years have been crazy, things are about to get even crazier out there. People are rising up around the world and everything. This is not that kind of channel. I'm just touching on world events because, you know, pop culture matters and world events very much have an impact on pop culture itself. So I'm just kind of touching on a few things and whatnot. And, well, yeah, this is going to be affecting everybody very, very shortly by the sounds of it, based on everything I've been hearing. So, yeah. People around the world, various countries, literally rising up in protest against these mandates and everything, which is beautiful. It's a beautiful thing to see, let me tell you. It also shows that we are on the verge of some pretty crazy times, even more so than what we have already experienced. So take care of yourself out there. Make sure you're prepared for what's coming, whatever it may be. I mean, who knows at this point? These people are capable of anything if you haven't figured that out by now. Like I said, it's not that kind of channel, but some things are just too big not to talk about. And these are the same people that have destroyed our pop culture. Make no mistake. So there is very much a direct connection here as far as all of that goes. Well, more Detroit. And yeah, if you may not have heard, I'm sure you have, probably most likely at this point, cargo container ships, especially if you're in the United States. I'm actually not sure about other countries, but here in the United States, cargo ships, those big, huge, massive behemoth vessels with all the massive containers and everything, they're held up at airports. They've been sitting out there for weeks on end. Supply rates are dropping. I hope you guys, like I said, stay safe. Make sure you're prepared if you're not already. It's not too late to pick up some stuff that you might be needing in the coming days and everything. I don't know, man. The only thing I can do at this point is hope and pray that it's short-lived. It's gonna get my fault, but hopefully it's short-lived. We get through this sooner rather than later. Crazy, man. All the years I've been alive, I've never seen anything like this. Never heard. It's just, this is out of those dystopian sci-fi novels and everything come to life. Crazy, man. These guys weren't kidding. Orwell, all that. 1984, Fahrenheit 452. These guys were not joking around. They were trying to warn us. No doubt about that. And here we are. We're living it. Crazy times, no doubt about that. Now there is hope. You got to keep that spark of hope alive. There is hope that we can get through this, get out the other end, into a better place. Hopefully society will be stronger, wiser, overall, perhaps kinder. I'm not going to go down that rabbit hole. That is for, you know, another day perhaps. But yeah. But you cannot say that we were not warned, because we were. Like I say, pop culture matters, and these fellas from back in the day, they tried to warn us through our pop culture, through stories and everything. They tried to tell us. They tried to warn us. Those that are responsible, They knew what they were doing. They knew that these guys were trying to warn us. They didn't care because they don't think we can stop them. They don't think that we can. They think they can't lose. They think they're too big to lose, I guess. Guess we're gonna find out who's bigger, them or God. Personally, I'm betting on God. So, like I said, take care of yourself out there. We're in for a rough ride, and it's been a rough ride, no doubt about that. If you think that's been rough, very soon things are it's game on. Let's put it that way. Supply change, especially when it's artificial, when you got supply shortage under these circumstances. This is their end game. They're not playing around, and neither should we. So, yeah. Happy Monday. Hope that helps brighten your Monday up there and everything. Let's get to it here. Let's go. Get moving. Okay, so I'm gonna be update here. I am going to be changing things a little bit here with the House of G format. As you may or may not know, I have a main channel, Rebel Squadron, and this is the channel that my main channel is the one I'm focusing on the most. And right now, I've been doing it for a year and a half, and at regular points there have been like transitional phases and everything, where big changes in the channel, stuff like that. Still a relatively small channel over there too, but when I say big changes, I mean they've evolved the channel, taking it to a different level as far as the content goes and everything. And now it's like, well, there's another transitional phase going on. I don't know where it's going to lead to, if anything. Hopefully, I mean, I'm hoping that hope springs eternal. It's going to take off like a rocket, but no guarantees there. But the simple fact is, something's happening right now, and I gotta strike while the iron's hot. So I'm focusing on everything I've got over there right now, and I gotta wait and see how it plays out. So in the meantime, I'm not giving up. I'm not giving up House of G. This is my side project, my passion project. I simply don't have time like I did. Like I said, I gotta make some changes, and so what I'm gonna be doing here is what I've been doing with House of G, Mondays at 1 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. And I've made the decision to bump it to 2 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Still on Mondays, just a slight shift in the start time. And on top of that, I'm going to be cutting back on the amount of stuff I'm going to be going through. Lately, I've been going through roughly 4 issues per House of G. I'm going to be cutting back to 1 to 2 per House of G, depending on what the issue is and everything, how much there's to go over. The goal was about an hour or so on the House of G in terms of running time, and I kind of get right now. It's been running average maybe like 3 hours, So with the way things are going with the Rebel Squadron, I just got so much to do for that channel. And I love doing it, don't get me wrong. I freaking love working that channel. But stuff's happening. And I gotta, like I said, gotta strike while the iron's hot. And so I've really got to make an effort to get the House of G within the previously established goals and everything. For the time being, at least. So I gotta cut it back from 3 hours, roughly 3 hours, down to about an hour. I could conceivably stretch it out to 2 hours depending on how the stream goes, but roughly an hour. And so that means come back from four issues to 1 to 2 issues per stream. Like I said, it depends on the issue. If it's a big one, like a big old graphic novel or a compilation or something like that, I can do just the one. If it's a regular issues, I could probably do like 2 of them. And because it always seems to take longer than I expected to. Especially with what the stuff we've been going through. That's the thing. Now, I'm telling you right now, we're going to look back on this time period as the dark ages of comic books. Not just right now in 2021, but from 2021 going back to the early 90s, right at the start of the Great Divergence. And we've had the golden age of comic books, we had the silver age of comic books, and then there was the modern age. And the modern age of comic books, which has been going on for at least 20 years, 30 years. Are you kidding me with this? 30 years? Dude. That's crazy. Yeah, it's been going for 30 years. It will be, at least for me, it will be henceforth known as the Dark Ages. Not the Golden Age, not the Silver Age. As Modern Age is just another word for, in my own opinion, for the Dark Ages of comic books. The House of G series so far has proven that to me, at least personally, beyond a shadow of a doubt. It's just crazy. The stuff we've discovered is just absolute bonkers. Like, that's not comic books, man. I'm telling you right now. And yeah, so after I get through the 2 issues today, I got a few more issues. They're going to be interesting. There's some critically acclaimed type stories and everything, going back a ways though. And then after that, if unless I'm missing something regarding my collection, after the next week's stream, House of G, we're going to be getting into the part of my collection that is pre-Great Divergence. So I'm very curious to see what kind of differences there are. Excuse me. See exactly how drastic the changes were between pre-93-ish and after that. I'm hoping, let's just say I'm hoping for good things. After the last few months of doing the House of G with the Dark Ages of comic books, I mean, dear McCricken, man. I need to know that I wasn't completely imagining things regarding, my love for comic books and whatnot. Regarding these heroes, that these heroes were actually written to be good and decent and not disgusting, not vile, not satanic. Make no mistake, there's a lot of Satanism in modern pop culture. I mean, if you try to deny that, you're just a fool at this point. And I'm not going to make any bones about it. I'm tired of arguing with idiots. I'm tired of arguing with fools. I'm not going to do it anymore. So there it is. And yeah, the folks that created these characters, from what I remember before the Great Divergence, they were good stories, good characters, strong morals, values, all stuff. I'm not saying that stuff was perfect, but it was worth reading. You know, modern pop culture mythology type stuff, you know? And they, these people took it over, subverted it, and they've completely butchered everything that I grew up with, at least. And it's just boggles the mind when you just, think about it. I don't even know, man. Been trying to have fun with this, and they've made it extremely difficult. I'm at that point in life where it's just, I'm not going to make moans about it. I'm going to call it as I see it as best I can. There's certain things that are beyond an argument, and people want to try and defend it. That's their option. That's their choice. Doesn't mean I have to entertain it. Doesn't mean I have to agree with it. Doesn't mean I have to put up with it. I'm not gonna waste my time arguing the obvious at this point, if you know what I mean. And yeah, usually when people are trying to argue in defense of stuff like that, take the Cuties movie for example. If they're arguing in defense of it, it's usually because they're hiding something about themselves that, number one, they don't want you to know. Number two, in case you do find out, they want a valid defense for that secret in their life. You need to understand that fact, and you need to remember that when these people raise their ugly heads to try to convince you that abomination is normal. Let's put it that way. You need to remember that. You don't have to tolerate it. You don't have to compromise with it. Compromise is a dirty word quite often actually. There's a time and place to compromise. If you have to compromise your values, that is not compromise. That is folding. That is weakness. That is not good. It's just not good. Yes, in many circumstances, compromise is in fact a dirty word. I will no longer compromise my values and morals. It's just not going to happen. This is where we are. All right, well, let's go and get into it here. So the first issue for today. Let's see here. Where you at? Boom. All right, so we got one Batman versus Predator. Dun, dun, dun. Now this is a crossover of DC and Dark Horse Comics, issue number 1 of 3. I think this is the only one I got. I don't think I have 2 and 3. And there you have it. Boom. Batman versus the ultimate predator hunter alien thing. And it actually seems pretty fitting. Predator's going, up against Batman. Batman's like, top shelf human physique and everything, combat skills, intellect and intelligence. He's got the toys, the gadgets, the technology on top of his martial prowess, and he's a very intelligent man. So Bruce Wayne's an intelligent guy. That's how he was created. That's how he was written. And yeah, so the concept of itself is interesting, but we'll see exactly what kind of direction they went with here. Now, like I said, I don't think I have number 2 or 3, so I don't know how the story fully played out or anything. I don't know why I never picked up the following issues. Not a clue. I got no idea. Could have been any number of reasons, least of which is it wasn't a very good story possibly, and I just wasn't motivated to, or life happened and I just didn't have the resources to be able to pick them up, let alone collect them. Okay, so let's see here. Overall, it's in pretty good condition. It's very strange. Like the dark ages of comic books in my collection are, a lot of them, well, some of them not so good. A lot of them are in pretty good condition though. Dark Horse Comics. Let's see. Now let's check the year on this first. 1991. Okay, so this is one of the oldest issues that we've gotten into here. This should be curious. I'm very curious to see exactly what direction we'll go with this, especially compared to the Dark Age comic books that we've gone through already. This is 2 years before, roughly 2 to 3 years before the Great Divergence. We'll see how much influence these people had at the time. Now this is all, gotta remember though, this is a crossover event between DC and Dark Horse Comics. Dark Horse is definitely a different comic book company than DC was. Let's see. So, now 1991, the quality, like the cover and the paper, is decent. It's not the heyday of like the 93, it's 95, I think, where the paper quality for the cover and the pages, just in the ink, skyrocketed. I mean, this is pretty good quality, but it's not that level. So curious indeed. I don't know how well you can tell from looking at it over the camera, but I mean, it's solid. It's decent. And then you open it up, boom, you get your first page and everything. Here we go. And yeah, it's decent quality. It's definitely better quality than maybe the average was back in the day, possibly. It's good stuff. Let's see. Okay, so yeah, I'm not gonna go. I don't try to read. I don't read these cover to cover. I just try to get at least a gist of the story and everything. Yeah, really, I would actually like to sit down and read my collection at this point. So at some point, at least. Writer is Dave Gibbons. Maybe possibly sounds familiar. The penciler is Adam Kubert. Yeah, I remember Adam Kubert. And he's also the inker and the letterer. Impressive. Okay. And Chris Warner is the cover artist. It's kind of amazing how they have like a lot of times they'll have a separate artist for the cover. I never quite understood why they did that, unless it was just to, let the main artist just focus on the story itself, I guess. I mean, it doesn't not make sense. I just never quite fully understood it, the logic behind it, at least. But I guess, I mean, it would make sense if you want the artist to focus exclusively on the story itself. Okay, so it starts off with a boxing match. Not really sure. Okay, yeah, it's not too. Okay, so here we go. So it starts off with the boxing match. It's setting up the stage, setting up the story and everything. So the boxing match itself isn't that important, but cuts to this guy, and I don't know if he's like at a junkyard or something. He's listening to the boxing match on the radio or the TV or something, and then there's some sound and whatnot. He goes to check out the disturbance. There's the infamous Predator laser sights, and then boom, he's toast. So the boxing match leads into this guy being hunted down and murdered by the Predator. Yeah, it looks like a junkyard. Just okay. Just noticed something. Yeah, so he has a dog. It's kind of hard to tell what kind it is. I don't know if I think it's a pit bull. Could be a Doberman, but I think it's a pit bull. Coloring is kind of Dobermanish, but it's all dark and shadowy, so it's kind of hard to. I don't think it's supposed to be a pit bull. Guess what the dog's name is? Let's see if I don't know if you can read that or not. Quiet, Satan. His dog's name is Satan. Like really? On the left side of your screen, Quiet, Satan. That's what he names his dog, Satan. That's what I'm talking about. I mean, people can name their dogs whatever they want. However, I think a lot of people forget or don't realize that when you name your animal, you give your animal a name, it speaks to who you are as a person, as the owner of that pet. It speaks to your spiritual and mental mindset, worldview, stuff like that, So, and keep in mind, this is not a real human being with a real dog. It's a character, throwaway character, literally created for the story. And the writer, when Dave Gibbons, might have to do some research on him at some point, he decided to name the dog Satan. I know some people say, it's just a funny joke, haha, good for you. I don't agree. It's just not a good idea, period, in the story. You don't name your pet Satan. It's just, you don't do it. It's a very bad idea. You want to do it, you go right on ahead. It's not a good idea. I highly recommend you don't do it. Like, with that said, this is a comic book for sale. I don't want to buy a comic book where some random junkyard dude, he's not even a bad guy, he's a victim, and you write him where his dog is named Satan. That's not what I want to spend my money on. This is 1991. This is before the Great Divergence. And like I've been saying, they had their foot in the door before then. This is just pure proof of it. Yeah, first, the dog is named Satan. Well, it's harmless. It's just a dog. What's in the name? What does that power? Words have power. Where's that meaning? If you don't understand if you don't understand what that means, you're not paying attention. Look at what they're doing to our language today. They have butchered our language. They just butchered it. Words have lost their meaning. When our language loses its meaning, when it loses its power, so does the individual. You as an individual, you lose more than you can possibly imagine. And it's right there. Boom. Quiet, Satan. I can't with this. This is from 1991. I was hoping. But now it is Dark Horse Comics, but it's also in partnership with DC. And it's right at the start. It's right at the start of the story. Second page. Boom. Quiet, Satan. You might as well have a pentagram. I'm saying this with all seriousness. The second page, you got character saying, you know, quiet Satan to his dog. You might as well have a freaking pentagram on the front page. When I fired up Doom 2016, I was planning on streaming it for October. And as soon as I fired up the game, guess what the first thing was that popped up on my screen? Legitimate, real, satanic symbolism. Pentagram, goat's head, the works. I'm not making this up. Shocked the teetotal shit out of me. I popped the game out of my Xbox and I literally snapped it in half on the spot. So it's just I don't want that. I don't want that in my freaking house. Like, are you kidding me with this? It is not harmless. If you think it's harmless, then you are a fool. This is what they've done to our pop culture, and that's in 2016. I used to be a fan of the Doom series until I made the mistake of purchasing that game. And now it's in the trash where it belongs. And you know, so if you're going to have something like that, quiet Satan. You might as well have a freaking pentagram with the goat's head inside of it, along with all the other satanic imagery that goes along with it. You might as well. And if you scoff at that, you go right ahead. You can scoff at it all you want. I don't care. Doesn't change the facts. I'm not here to be popular. All these other channels, yeah, they're a bunch of hypocrites. They want to be popular. They want to make a name for themselves. They want to make that money. The House of Jesus is not like that. I'm not here to be popular. I'm here to do deep dive pop culture archaeology as truthfully as I possibly can. And I'm trying to have fun with it. When the second page has quiet Satan right there, guess what? It's very difficult to just have fun with it because this is serious stuff. And people don't take it seriously, and that's part of the problem. Like, are you kidding me with this? It just infuriates me. I'm still over it. I can't with this. Let's move on here. Okay. Now, being that this is a crossover between DC and Dark Horse, I'm hoping this is not indicative of what we're going to find when I finally get into the older parts of my collection. This is just... because it's heartbreaking. It's like, is my childhood just... am I remembering it wrong? Was it just one big lie? It's not cool, man. To say the least. And that's putting it in the most mild and polite terms possible. It's like I said, it's infuriating. You have no idea how difficult it is to not say the things that are on my heart right now, in my mind. Okay, so let's see here. Okay. What? I think this is Bruce Wayne leaving the fight, maybe, possibly. I don't know. I mean, it's Bruce Wayne. I think he's leaving the boxing match. There's Alfred driving his car, so he's butler and chauffeur. Cuts to some penthouse or something like that. Some black dude with his woman. I don't know who he is. And then there's, blood dripping from the ceiling. Doesn't... Marcus, I don't... Put your name to him. He might be the boxer. That's my guess anyways. He's probably the boxer from the match. Okay. So, yeah. if you're a fan of the Predator, this might actually be tame for compared to what you're hoping for. Yeah, so it's actually, the Predator, as you might expect, crashing down, boom, and he's going after the boxer. So yeah, okay, so dude was in the junkyard listening to the fight. Apparently the Predator was monitoring the radio or television show, whatever it was, and found him. He decided, well, this guy that won this boxing fight, he must make good prey, a good hunt. That'd be my guess. So it's one thing you go into a Predator movie, you expect stuff like that. This is probably why I didn't continue with the series, because it's not comic books for me. This is not why I read comic books. Like I said, it might be tame for if you're a Predator fan. This might be tame for you. This is just yeah, they did tone it down. They did tone it down. It's not. Of course, they might not have had a choice. If they had gone full like movie level gore with it, they might not have been able to like put this on the stands, possible. At least not under the DC Dark Horse name. Who knows at this point? It was 1991. But yeah, so he goes after the boxer, the guy that won the fight. Crashes in. He's got his woman. Tells her to get in the bathroom. He's like, fight me. Predator hits him with his net, and you know what? If you watch the Predator movies, you know what the net does. And she's in the bathroom. Predator walks into the bathroom, throws down, let's just say his trophy. And then it cuts to some sort of a fancy shindig of a party. You got Bruce Wayne talking to a guy. They're talking about the fight and the fighter. And then something happens. Bruce decides that he needs to swap into his alter ego. Oh, bat signal. The bat signal appears in the back window, or outside the window, anyways. Rather, so he gets called into work, basically. And let's see here. Yeah, so he shows up at the guy's apartment. It is a bloody mess. So like I said, if you're a fan of the Predator, it's pretty tame compared to what you were probably hoping for, maybe. This is more than enough for me. In my comic books, I did not read comic books for gore. It's not, especially Batman. It's Batman. Batman is not a gore comic book. It's not. I am so sick of the gore. You have no idea. People celebrating stuff like Invincible and The Boys and everything. I don't know what's wrong with people. Those are not good shows. Not good comic books. Whatever potential there was in the storytelling aspect, they ruined it with the gore. Plain and simple. And The Boys has got straight out pornography in it as well. It just is. That is not what comic books is about. If you think that's what comic books are about, then you need to learn the word hentai. Okay? If that's what you're into, then go buy some freaking hentai. Keep it out of my freaking comic books. At this point, like I said, we're in the dark ages of comic books. Comic books are a lost cause at this point. It's going to take a massive resetting on the entire industry to get things back on track. And unfortunately, I'm just not seeing it yet. People are waking up to it, but it's still got a ways to go. Let's see here. Yeah, so Batman's doing this thing. He's investigating the scene, and hey, look at that. Some sort of stealth cloaked entity sitting up there watching the Batman. You get the infamous infrared as Batman swings away. Oh, yeah, so... Okay. Now, naturally, the Batman is the world's greatest detective, so naturally he's doing the detective thing. He's trying to figure out who would want to kill Broden, especially in such a gruesome manner. Broden is the winner of the boxing fight. Naturally, the first suspect that jumps to mind is the loser of that boxing match. Wait. Oh, no, Broden's the guy that lost. Never mind. Yeah, Broden's the guy that lost to the other guy. So yeah, this is after the fight and everything. You know, they're talking as men do and whatnot. Batman pops up. He's like, "Why'd you kill him?" And you know, like, he didn't do it. He didn't take him out, but so he warns the guy, "You need to watch your back." He realizes the guy didn't do it. It's like, you should probably watch your back, because somebody did take out the guy that won the fight. Okay, so Batman leaves the gym. Alfred picks him up. He quick changes out of his bat suit. Predator catches up just in time to see Bruce Wayne pulling off. He's like, the Predator is all like, wrong shape, or no shape, wrong guy, faulty analysis. He doesn't realize that the guy in the car is in fact Batman, his prey. He's going after Batman now. He's caught Batman's scent. He realizes that Batman is a worthy opponent to go after, worthy prey. And him and Bruce and Alfred are discussing the situation. Bat signal goes up again. Boom. Yep. Called back into work. What the what? Wow. Okay. Yep. Predator is just going to town. Let's see here. Yes, Bruce goes down to the Batcave, gets changed. He gets called back to the gym he was just at, and literally every man there is slaughtered viciously. And yeah, as you might expect from the Predator, doing his thing. Now it's possible. I don't know. My guess is the Predator is not going to go after second-rate prey. My guess is he went into the boxing ring and slaughtered everybody in order to get Batman to return after losing his scent, so to speak. That's my guess, anyways. Draw him out, bait him, draw him out. So, yeah, as you might expect, Predator's still hanging out. Batman's there doing his thing. And he realizes something's up. And boom, just all hell breaks loose. Especially after reading. No, okay, so here's one of the reasons why I was a little edgy about starting this one. I think it was no, maybe not last stream, but a couple streams ago. It was a couple streams ago. Had a couple issues. The sub series was the sleeping for Batman. He was in a coma. It was very gruesome. It was just it was bad. It wasn't Batman. It was not a bad. It just wasn't Batman. It was gruesome. So being 91, I was hoping it was not going to be that bad. So far, it hasn't been. I was afraid they were going to be taking it that route. They're skirting the edges of it, but it's not nearly as bad as that one was. So there's that. Yeah, so the Predator blasted somebody, one of the cops or something. Blasted one of the cops. Cop's probably dead. He targets Batman. Batman just stands there, staring him down. And then the Predator blinks off his targeting lasers and takes off, pretty much. Batman's all like, I think I'm starting to understand the rules. And I guess he goes back to the Batcave. Like, I keep... See, I'm not reading it word for word, so I don't... There's a bunch of dialogue going on, so I'm not entirely sure what the conversation's entailing. Completely. Some of it's just like idle banter between men. But... wait a minute, who is that? Oh, wait a minute, that's not a cop. I think he was the coach or something. So for some reason, the Predator takes out the coach, or whoever, manager, or whoever he was for the boxer. In the maybe he's the owner of the boxing gym. I don't know. He takes him out for some reason, and leaves Batman. He like he's sending a message or something, and it's not the maybe the Predator just wants to take him on one without, you know, all this backup and everything. He wants to that would make sense as far as, you know, the Predator mindset goes. So Batman's, you know, Bruce Wayne, Batman's doing this thing, just, you know, going over the evidence and whatnot that he's got for, you know, changing back into, but he's getting a lot of changing going on, changing outfits tonight, bouncing back and forth between Bruce and Batman. It's a very, very busy night for him. And then let's see, like I said, I'm not reading the dialogues, I don't know all the little details going on, but getting a gist of it at least. And so we got Batman. Missing something with the dialogue. Apparently got some sort of, I don't know, lead maybe or something. So he's there's Batman. He's listening in on this conversation, this meeting. I'm assuming these are bad guys. And for some reason the Predator is there. I'm not sure why exactly. Like I said, I'm not reading the dialogue, so I just kind of missed that part. But yeah, so he manages to track down the Predator at this meeting somehow. It's a hunch. He does it on a hunch. It's just a hunch that this Predator is going to go after these, you know, this big group of violent men and stuff, because that's what the Predator does. He goes after the strongest prey. So it's just a hunch, and it just happens to pay off. So the Predator does want a piece of the Batman, but the Batman is still not his only target. And like I said, it pays off. Boom. He's suddenly face to face with the Predator. And it starts going down. It's getting to it. Now keep in mind, this is issue 1 of 3. So, what? Wait, what? Oh, so it looks like one of the thugs actually gets he's able to unload double barrel shotgun, full load of shotgun rounds into the Predator. So he hits the Predator. The Predator takes off on this one, and yeah, Batman's able to keep track of the Predator, tracks him to his little, you know, temporary lair and everything, finds his trophies, and literally comes face to face with the Predator, realizes it's not from this world. Something very off. He gets hit by the Predator has that really nasty looking frisbee weapon. Tags him with it. And okay. Yeah, so not a lot of dialogue in this one, so kind of took a second to figure it out. Yes, the Predator now has the momentum chasing after Batman. Batman distracts him with a giant bolt or something like that. And then looks like he drops a bunch of junk on the Predator. And Batman goes in to, I guess, finish him off. Only the Predator still has some fighting him, gets the jump on Batman. And it's not looking too good for the Batman as we wrap up issue 1. I'm pretty sure I do not have 2 and 3. I don't know if it's because I don't know if it's because I was bored with it, what the deal was, or if it was a time. Let's see, 91. It's possible I just didn't have the resources to continue with this one. Yeah, my collecting has been sporadic a lot of the time, just because of lack of resources and whatnot. You have money to buy the comic books, bag, board, box them up. Yeah, it's just the story of my life, and yeah, so I think that's the only one that I have. Overall, it's not bad. It's not too crazy gory. Except I'm not into gore. It's not me. It's not comic books. There's hentai. There's independent comic books. At least back in the day, they were independent before they were brought into the mainstream, apparently. And they kept it. There's like basically hints of gore, not like there's blood splattering everywhere at times and whatnot. He pulls the trophy out of the box, or the skull and the spine. And you don't get a clear look at it. You get a blood streak reflection in the mirror, and then you actually see the skull itself in her eye, her actual eyeball. So you don't look at it. They don't show it to you like quote unquote directly. So yeah, it's very tame for a Predator story, which is fine with me. That's not a complaint. But considering where things have led in the last 30 years, I mean, you can see where it's going at this point, and it's not a good thing. And at the end of episode, issue 1, as you expect, Predator's got the upper hand. Batman's not looking too good. This is definitely outside of the norm for Batman stories. So just the gruesomeness of it, which has been tamed down compared to the movies, but yeah, it's. I mean, yeah, like the Joker, he kills people, but it's like it's in a cartoony sort of way, It's a comic booky sort of way. This is much more gruesome and whatnot. Some people might not understand the distinction, but it is real. So I don't know. In and of itself, it's not terrible. It's more gruesome. It is more gruesome than I like, personally, than what I'm looking for in a comic book. That was also to be expected going with Batman vs. Predator, as well as Dark Horse Comics. So it wasn't like a completely, and they did tone it down immensely compared to what you might find in the movies. But there's this thing called the slippery slope, and it is a real thing. So there's that. You have to keep that in mind as well. So and then at the very start, you got the guy who names his dog Satan. That's a big red flag right there. There's no reason for. I would never, like, I've got my own idea for comic books, whole comic book world and stuff like that. I will never name any of the characters or supporting characters Satan, or the devil, or demon. Yeah, not unless it's literally a freaking demon, or literally Satan as a character in the story. It's the only way. It's the only time I would ever use that name. And he would definitely, I mean, he would be the bad guy, the big baddie. Plain and simple. No ambiguity, no sans buzz. secretly, celebrating the evil one. It's like I'm saying, if you're going to do stuff like that, you might as well put a freaking pentagram right at the start like they did with Doom 2016. I'm not making that up. It's actual real thing. I purchased the game, wasted money, fired it up, and immediately snapped the disc in two. That's how real this is. So yeah, pop culture matters. I love my stories and everything. But they have the Great Divergence didn't just happen. It didn't happen overnight. It led up to it. They led up to it. They got their foot in the door. They took it over slowly from within, and then right around 94, 95, I mean, they just took full control. Now that's why we're at this spot that we're at today. So there you have it, folks. Batman vs. Predator #1 of 3 from DC and Dark Horse Comics, 1991. Adam Kubert as the artist, and then the name Gibbons, something like that, was the writer. Don't really recognize that name, so not really. I don't know. I don't know if he was a DC guy or a Dark Horse guy. What the deal was? I think Kubert is primarily DC. And I do not have 2 or 3. I don't have the rest of the series, miniseries. So I have no idea how it plays out. What if they got more blatant with the violent stuff, the gore? Not a clue. I'm not particularly inclined to complete the series. Yeah. I don't know, man. At this point, the only way I'd probably do that is if the House of G blew up, which I do not expect this channel to ever gain traction. If somehow it did, maybe for content purposes, to be able to complete the story and talk about it and whatnot. But that's pretty much the only set of circumstances I can possibly imagine where I would actually pick up issues 2 and 3 of this. Just being honest, I'm really not inclined to at this point. Especially with everything that's going on. Like I said, we're in for a rough ride here. There's a lot of stuff going on. We're in for a rough ride. A lot of stuff's gonna be revealed. And it's not gonna be pretty stuff. And honestly, at this point in my life, I've had my fill of just the evil and vile. Garbage that they've been forcing on us for decades at this point. I've had way more than enough at this point. Honestly, do not understand why people continue to celebrate it, because it's not good stuff. I don't. Too many people just don't seem to understand what comic books are really about. A lot of these guys are, in fact, quite a bit younger than me. That's part of it. Quite a bit younger than me. So they might have their collections, but the question is whether or not they've actually, like, if they buy older issues, the question is whether or not they actually sit down and read them. I have no idea. Or if they just buy them for the prestige, which is entirely possible. Sure, what are you gonna do? Just keep on trucking. That's what you're gonna do. Okay, so now we're gonna get into boom, Batman Dark Allegiances. I do not have good hopes for this one. Okay, so that last one was not an Elseworlds, but it might as well have been pretty much. This one is an Elseworlds story, and especially after reading A Brotherhood of the Bat, I don't have a good feeling about it. Dark Allegiances, that's not a good sign for what's in the pages, in between the covers of these pages. This is what we're doing here in the House of G, so let's get into it. We're already pushing an hour. So yeah, this is why I'm cutting it down from 4 to 2, one or 2 at max, because there's just so much going on with my main channel right now. I need to focus on that as much as possible, and I simply do not have the time to go deeper with House of G at this point. Maybe someday, we'll see. But especially since unfortunately YouTube is never going to give this channel the attention that I would need it to get in order to focus on it to that extent. Okay, so let's take a look at this. Howard Chaykin is the writer slash artist. So not only did he write the story, he drew it. I don't know that name. I have no idea who this guy is. So that's one of the things I want to do at some point, is to gather these names, do some research on them, find out who they are. What other work have they done? What other stories have they written, been a part of? Because I can guarantee you this much, there is a pattern to be found. We've already found patterns. But they have these loose threads that lead off into we don't know where. So these patterns, there's going to be bigger patterns out there. We just have to find them. I love how they always like to put Batman created by Bob Kane, as if that somehow validates the subversion of these characters. So I can put I would have to read some of the original Batman stories and whatnot to be able to understand just how far off the beaten path they've actually taken these characters. Okay. Starts off with this weird modern gecko art thing. I'm not freaking... Yeah, I don't know what that's supposed to be. It's lazy art, in my humble opinion. But... After Welch, I don't know what that means. And yes, they one thing we have learned is that they take the whole Elseworlds concept and they use it as an excuse to completely just butcher these characters, butcher this. They do it on purpose. Being an Elseworlds story, I mean, they can say, oh, it's not the real Batman, it's not the real continuity, it's not the real character. And it worked. They got away with it for so long that now that they've completely taken over, and they've actually butchered the actual real canon of these characters. So their plan worked. Make no mistake. This is not a warning of what they're going to do. This is a dissection of what they've already done, what they've already succeeded in, what they've already accomplished. I'm trying to figure out how we got to this point. That's the whole point of pop culture archaeology. That's the whole point of archaeology in general. So, what are you going to do? You're going to keep on digging. That's what you're going to do. I'm not going to read all that, but... What the what? Okay, so... Wow. So you know how modern day cancel culture, they love to scream racist and stuff like that? I'm not going to sit here and read this whole thing, but it's pretty much what they're doing. Same thing, but they're trying to do it under... Wow, hold on. What year was this? Hold on. It's just like, you know it's coming, but it still surprises you. Yeah, folks, this is 1996. Right after the Great Divergence, when they just fully took over. So I'm not going to read this, but he's doing... I'll show you this real quick. What? I don't know. It takes place around World War II. Possibly right before World War II got set off. Dealing with Franklin Delano Roosevelt and Hitler. and also the KKK. Except this KKK has not a swastika, you know. It's my understanding the KKK had their own symbols. They weren't Nazis. Unless these are supposed to... Are you fucking kidding me with this? So this is what they do. This is what they do. They take historical facts, but then they twist them. They butcher them. They mash them up to create a different picture. Truth mixed with bullshit. Little bits of truth. And it's all mashed together to completely... They're just... It's just bullshit, man. I don't know how else to put it. Because Nazis... I'll give you an example. They're this Nazi-based KKK, right? He's talking about how they're against homosexuals. Well, guess what? Hitler didn't give a rat's ass about homosexuals. He had no problem with it. So that right there is a freaking lie. So they're trying to malign people that do not support the homosexual agenda. They're trying to align them with Nazi KKK. This is what they do, folks. This is why pop culture matters. There are people that read this, they have no understanding of history. They read this and they think that this is fact. Do you understand? They think that this is based on historical fact. It's not. This is a butchering of history. This is why pop culture matters. This is why we're deep diving into pop culture archaeology here on the House of G. This is why we're treading ground that every other channel out there is afraid to tread. Because it's bullshit. And that's just one example. That's just one example. So, yeah, they've got some people here that they've taken hostage. It looks like, I think they're supposed to be Jews and black people. I don't... Which is what you expect from the KKK. Holy crap, are you kidding me with this, man? And for any idiot that's watching, no, this is not an endorsement for Nazis. If that's what you got out of this, then you're just a freaking idiot. So don't try that, man. There's gonna be some dummy out there that's gonna try to pull that shit. Don't just save your time. The bullshit's not gonna work with me. But it will get you perma-blocked. Make no mistake. What the what? Okay, so... Yeah, they're doing their thing. There's a batarang coming flying. I'm trying to figure this out here. Batarang comes out of nowhere, hits the guy in the head. They're trying to murder these people, as you might expect. And then, boom, out comes the Batman, or this world's version of the Batman. I don't know if he's coming out of the fire or what the deal is. I don't know. I'm already in a bad mood because of the way this thing started. What the what? 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 Holy crap. This is as bad as I was afraid it was going to be. It really is. The message they're putting out is insidious and evil. Let me put it that way. That's what it boils down to. I'm not going to sit here and read it word for word and all that stuff. And maybe someday I might try doing something like that. That's going to be a ways down the road anyways. This whole story is just bullshit. Holy crap. And the artwork's not exactly all that great either. I am not impressed with the artwork on this. So yeah, Batman, you know, he swings into action. He's beating up the Nazis. And then what do you know? The head Nazi KKK guy happens to be the Joker. Like, what? What? Here's the thing. The real Joker, he don't give a shit about any of that stuff that he was spouting off. That's not the Joker at all. This is written by a guy that does not understand these characters. This was not written in the spirit of Batman. No, this is written for an agenda. This is agenda-driven, political and ideological, masked with pop culture, with popular characters, Batman, Joker. This is not a comic book, folks. Okay? 1996. Batman, Elseworlds, Dark Allegiances. This is not a comic book. It's not a graphic novel. This is propaganda. Political, ideological propaganda. I can tell you that already. So I'm probably not going to spend a too crazy amount of time. Maybe. We'll see. I don't know. But I'm not planning on it. This is just... What the hell? This artwork is bad. This artwork is just so bad. What? What? Wait, what? This artwork is just so freaking bad, man. So this is the Joker character in this Elseworlds, right? Get a look at that. That's the Joker character, and he looks less Jokery and more just like pissed off. The Joker is like he's insane, just perpetual. No, this guy he just looks angry. He just looks angry, right? But but wait. There's more. Let's take a look at Bruce. Who looks more like the Joker? The Joker or Bruce Wayne? Like which one actually looks like the Joker? In my opinion, Bruce Wayne is the one that looks like the Joker. And then there's if you look at the picture of Alfred, I mean, it's just bad artwork. I'm not impressed by the artwork, and I absolutely do not like the writing, because this is not a comic book story. This is propaganda. And then he tries to play it off. This is what they do. They put their message out there. Whether you realize they're putting their message out there or not, they put their message out there. And then they try to deflect from it to try to soften it with tongue-in-cheek type humor. So Alfred's all like, the Joker refers to him as a Bolshevik rat, because if you didn't know, back in the day, Nazis and communists didn't like each other very much. Alfred, tongue-in-cheek. Although you do espouse certain ideas that are a bit socialistic for my tastes. Are you alright, sir? Tongue-in-cheek. So apparently this guy has a problem with Nazis, but not socialists. They didn't use the word keep in mind. He's not using the word communist. He's using the word socialist. And then Bruce has just got he's got the crazy Joker face, which is, and yeah, they're bantering back and forth all the time. So yeah, this is what they do. It's like, oh, wow, this is a good story because now they're cracking jokes, and now look at that, I can identify with them because they're being tongue in cheek and they're being sarcastic, and hey, wait, I'm sarcastic. That's how I like to interact with my friends. Oh wow, these guys are cool, and this I don't know anything about history, so this stuff must be accurate. It's propaganda, straight up. That's bullshit. What the what? So wait a minute. Wait. I think his name's Pewdie. Senator Pewdie. But I think so Bruce is meeting with a couple of guys that I'm pretty sure. I think he's supposed to be Two-Face, and then he's supposed to be Penguin. But the middle guy's name's Pewdie, not Dent. So I don't know. It's Elseworlds. Who knows at this point? But and just Bruce he just always has this weird ass look on his face. Weird ass grin. Like what the? Oh look, there's the white supremacy sign. Look at that from 1996, all the way back then. That's sarcasm if you can't figure that out. This is just ludicrous, man. This is as bad as I thought it was going to be. And we're not even halfway through it. So apparently, I think he's dating a Hollywood movie star, which, you know, he's Bruce Wayne, so it wouldn't surprise me too much. But I think he's dating her. It seems like she says something here. So I mean, they're sure looking pretty cozy. So I'm pretty sure he's dating her, which wouldn't surprise me. I keep in mind this is from 1940s. Back when we still had some sense of morality and whatnot. I think she's supposed to be like 28, playing teenagers. Which, yeah, she's 28 and she keeps getting these roles to play teenage versions. Literally, that's literally what she signed. Don't be silly. Oh, he says, hooray for Hollywood. I'm heading out west next week. Why not take the train with me? And she responds with, don't be silly, Bruce. My morals clause won't even let me be photographed near a double bed. There'd be a conniption heard around the world if they found me sharing a Pullman with anybody other than my Pekingese. And then Bruce responds, the life and hard times of the professional virgin. And she makes a comment. Apparently she is hinting that she knows he's Batman or something, but so the question is, what exactly is the message that this writer is saying right now? Because make no mistake, people write this stuff, they're putting out a message, folks. You need to understand that nothing in here is accidental. They're putting out a message. So he is openly mocking the concept, the idea of being a virgin, being chaste, being moral, having values. He's mocking it, straight up. And that tells you what kind of person this guy is. He's using Bruce Wayne to do it. The Batman. The Batman's making fun of virginity. Being a virgin must not be cool. That's the message they're putting out here, and it's not a good one. And keep in mind, keep something else in mind. She's youthful enough. She plays teenage virgins. So he's not just making fun of virgins, he's making fun of teenage virgins. That should also give you an idea what kind of person this guy really is. It's not a good one. He's very, very. Nobody's like actually eavesdropping on them. They're on the dance floor. Nobody can hear their conversation, and he's trying very, very, very hard to get her to sleep with him. Now, I understand Bruce Wayne's supposed to be Playboy, whatnot, and there are, but also keep in mind it's the 1940s. Are you freaking kidding me with this? Hey there, Maria. Just got here. Sounds like a cringe message. Yeah, it cringe is putting it mildly. Dark Allegiance. 1996. 1996. Dark Allegiances. It's as bad as you would expect at this point. It's infuriating. It's just infuriating. I'm sick of this. I'm sick of it. I'm sick of it. Now, the good news is we're almost through the Great Divergence material that I got. I'm trying to think. I've got... Okay, I've got four major issues I'm going to be going through over the next few weeks, and I don't remember when they were written, but they're critically acclaimed stuff. As far as, so other than that stuff, I mean, this is the last of the Great Divergence material that I have in my collection. So I'm hoping and praying, if not after this stream, after the next few streams, we will be getting into the older parts of my collection before, and I'm hoping this stuff's before the Great Divergence. I'm hoping this is as far back as it goes. We won't know until we get into it. But I'm hoping this older stuff's going to be less, infuriating. Let's put it that way. Like, what the hell? But yeah, it starts off yeah, you just got here, right? So really quick recap before I go any further. Yeah, we're talking about Nazi KKK, which is just like, what? The Nazis and the KKK were two different groups. Nazis were German, KKK was American. I don't remember ever seeing historical documentation of the American KKK with swastikas. I don't remember ever seeing that. And then the message they're putting out is just complete horse crap. It's just this is not a comic book. Maria, you gotta understand something. This is not a comic book. Now keep in mind, this is Elseworlds, right? Elseworlds, which means it's a alternate parallel universe. This is how they got away with it back then. The parallel universe concept to push these bullshit stories that are not stories. These are not comic book stories. This is propaganda. This is political, ideological propaganda being masked as pop culture. This is what I say. Pop culture matters. And this is the perfect example as to what I'm talking about. Odd to say that, yeah, that's putting it mildly. I'm not here to put things mildly. I'm here to I'm here to rip the curtain away and reveal what's behind it. It's political, ideological propaganda bullshit is what it is. So, yeah, he's trying to bed this starlet and everything, and he's being very just Yeah, so she's a 28-year-old actress, and she plays teenage virgins, and he's making fun of her for it. He's trying to better her. So the message, not a good one. This guy that wrote this, he's indulging in personal fantasies at best. At best, he's indulging in personal fantasies with the story that he wrote. At best, you take that one to the bank, and you need to think about what that means. Because I do not need an age 18 slapped on this live stream. That's why I can't talk about it in any more detail. Yeah, planting season purity. That's putting it mildly. Okay, you know, I'm still saying it's pedophile propaganda is what it is. Okay, it's like I said, I'm not going to dance around it. You're trying to be polite. I'm not going to be polite. It is pedophile propaganda. Okay, so there's still this thing. Now it just keeps getting weird. I don't even know who this is supposed to be. Who the hell is this supposed to be? I don't know who this character is supposed to be. It's a guy who's supposed to be Two-Face and the Penguin talking to this dude, and this dude looks like he's wearing freaking lipstick. I don't know who that character is supposed to be. It's not Bruce. Bruce is out there dancing with the starlet. Whoever this guy is, he's coming into the picture, and he looks like he's in drag. He looks like he's wearing lipstick. Bright red lipstick. I got no freaking clue. This is the guy that wrote the story is the same guy that drew the artwork, and the artwork sucks. 1996, they were handing these stories, the assignments, they were handing them out like candy to these freaking weirdos that they were given the green light to just butcher our pop culture at this point. Just butcher it. It's infuriating, to say the least. And then, oh, get this. Bruce Wayne's reading The Shadow. Because if Bruce Wayne is reading The Shadow, which Batman is based on The Shadow, if Bruce Wayne is reading The Shadow, then that must legitimize this entire issue. The story, everything, the propaganda, the ideology, the political bullshit. He's reading The Shadows. You know what? That makes all of this legitimized. This is legitimate Batman because he's reading The Shadow. Holy shit. Holy crap. Okay, so this is jacked up and bullshit as the story is. They're, like I said, they take little bits of truth and they mash it up to create this like just toxic, vile, like chicken pot pie, but there's no chicken in it. You don't want to know what's in it. It's not chicken. You know what I'm saying? They take little bits of truth and they mash it up and they make it look like chicken pot pie, but it's not chicken pot pie. Trust me, you don't want to know what they used to make it. So they got this starlet. She's got this morality clause. She can't. She plays teenage virgins, right? But then, so she's at home in bed. And she's jumping out of bed because some dude has stopped by to talk to her, to meet with her, unannounced. So she jumps out of bed. She's looking nice there. And then they're having this conversation. She's not happy with him showing up unannounced. She makes the same, I don't leap out of bed at anybody's beck and call. And he comes back with, from what I hear, you used to leap into bed for the price of a muggle. I'm not sure what a muggle is outside of Harry Potter. So they take this woman that's playing these teenage virgins under contract with a morality clause, and then they immediately point out that she is in fact a hoe bag. That sounds like Hollywood right there. Like I'm saying, they take little bits of truth and mash it, and that sounds like a little piece of truth right there that they mixed in. So, long story short, he's using her to spy on Bruce Wayne. Don't know why. I'm not reading this word for word. This whole thing is just disturbing so far. The artwork is just off. The artwork is bad. Trust me on that, if you haven't noticed already. I knew this was going to be bad. I knew this was going to be a bad one. For a long time now, they've been taking our heroes and just twisting them. You get the Injustice scheme, and you're fighting against evil Superman. It's a one-shot concept. Okay, it was interesting, it was fun. But then, it wasn't a one-shot concept. It's just, that's what they're doing across the board. They're taking our good guys, turning them to bad guys, taking the bad guys, trying to celebrate them as good guys, misunderstood good guys. It's all freaking bullshit. So I knew, looking at this, I didn't know what year it was from, but I had a feeling it was right around 95, 96. Yes, it is 1996. Dark Ages. I knew this was going to be a bad one. Holy crap. It's not in that regard, it's not disappointing. This is bad. This is a bad one. There's a reason why Bell in comic books in 2012. My only regret is that it took me that long to figure it out. That is my only regret. To figure it out and stop wasting money on this trash. Holy crap! That's how slippery these people are. This was not. It didn't just happen. You've got to understand something here, folks. This did not just happen. This was planned out over a very long period of time. They got their foot in the door. Got their people in a position, and something happened, click, boom, great divergence, they took over across the board. And they just started letting the propaganda fly. And it's only gotten worse over time. Now that I see it, it makes my blood boil. It's infuriating. Because it is not right on any level. I'm barely even. I'm already over this one. I'm over it. For some reason, I don't know. Bruce Wayne suits up. And he just always has the same expression on his face, and it just doesn't look right. Like, this guy is a terrible artist. Everything is just off. Everybody's snarling and just toothy, and pretty much everybody looks like the Joker except the Joker. If that makes sense. Because I don't know how that's even possible. So apparently he ditched her out for Batman stuff, I guess. She's on the train, and Bruce Wayne and Alfred are not. So he ditched her. I don't know if it's because something popped up and he had to take action as Batman, wasn't able to catch the train, or what the deal was. Looks like he's got his own thing, his own train car for his Batmobile. So I guess they're catching up to her. Yeah. So he's got to maintain appearances as a Bruce Wayne playboy billionaire. And she's like, what? The porter said you missed the train. He's like, well, does the porter know? I'm Bruce Wayne. Ain't nobody keep track of me. Oh, he also says that he owns the piece of the railroad. Of course. And the way that Bruce Wayne is drawn is just, there's something just off about him. It's just off. I mean, look at that. That's Bruce Wayne. That's supposed to be Bruce Wayne. It just looks off. Like he's gone way beyond playing, pretending to be this, playboy womanizer. He's gone he's not pretending at this point. This is actually the character. Even when it's just him and Alfred. Seems like. I don't know. It's just off. Wait a minute. Okay, so this chick's been popping up. Yeah, I knew it was supposed to be Catwoman, but I haven't been paying attention because it's been like just she's been operating in the background and everything. Finally get a full shot of her. So there's the Catwoman. But now I'm starting to wonder if the starlet, I don't even know her name, the actress, I'm starting to wonder if she's Catwoman. Story-wise, it would make sense that they would do that, like give that would be her secret identity, especially since she is wooing, the starlet is wooing Bruce Wayne. Wow. Okay, so in recent live streams, I've been griping about the male characters that have been drawn, the way they've been drawn, their poses, their positions. Very inappropriate, blatantly like sexual to pornographic in just their poses and their design. I don't have. Okay, so characters, whether comic book characters, whether they're male or female, they're supposed to be physically fit, supposed to be athletic. That is the whole point of being a superhero. It's just being at the peak physical, peak human capability. Most of the time, there's the physical aspect, but these characters are also highly intelligent in most cases and whatnot. But there's a fine line between what is appropriate in a comic book setting, what is inappropriate, whether it's male or female. So in regards to a comic book setting, especially one being mainstream like Batman, now this, I don't have a problem with this. Nothing untoward. It's a little bit on the skimpy side, especially for 1945, but other than that, nothing. I mean, she's got her legs crossed and everything. It's not even a suggested pose or nothing. She just looks like a woman. But we're not done yet. The very next page, Batman drops in. And then this happens. Wait a minute, what the hell is that? Oh, it's her arm. Like I said, the artwork's not very good. I have a feeling he spent more time on this set of panels than the entire comic book. Most likely. So Batman breaks in, right? And then all of a sudden, this happens. Like, what the hell? Legs, like, just completely spread eagle. A pretty decent crotch shot. Like Whiskey Tango Foxtrot, dude. I do not have a problem with physically attractive women. But this is a comic book. It is a mainstream Batman comic book. This does not belong here. That is a highly inappropriate pose. This is something I expect in, say, like hentai or, straight up pornography. Or at the very least, an R-rated movie. This is not appropriate. Not for comic books, not for Batman. I don't have a problem with this. There's at least a sense of modesty about her positioning. All modesty goes out the window. The very next page. Boom. That belongs on Pornhub. Now, it seems like he decided he was pushing his luck. So with the rest of the panels, you know, she's relatively modest. But for some reason, that one, he took that opportunity just full on. Do me, Batman. Like, what the fuck? Dude. Holy crap, are you kidding? Like I said, I don't have a problem with attractive women. That goes beyond what is acceptable in a mainstream comic book. Oh, wait. Oh, we're not done yet. Hold on. We're not done yet. No. See. He's taking full advantage of this scene between Batman and Catwoman. So she escapes. Batman pursues. And guess what? He catches up to her. So not only she once again spread eagle, but you get a full frontal crotch shot right there. I know there are gonna be a lot of idiots out there. They're like, "Oh yeah, that's hot," and it's ooh and holler, and it's those guys. You're a bunch of fucking idiots. This is not what comic books is about. This is not what Batman is about. Do you understand? Okay, that's pornographic right there. That's completely not necessary. And it's, as far as this type of comic book, that is a no-go. You gotta keep something in mind. I've been reading comic books for a long time. If this was in my comic book when I was a kid, my parents would have had a conniption. Now, I read Batman when I was a kid. That is not acceptable. No. Not even close. This is not that. It's not that kind of comic book. You gotta understand something. Marvel and DC, for a very, very, very long time, they had a standard. They were the mainstream gold standard of comic books. People could, when they spent money on it, they could trust the quality of the work, the stories. This is not what DC used to be. Not back in the day. And yes, this Catwoman chick is in fact the starlet. So he catches her, reveals who he learns for a fact that this is that chick. Let me check the dialogue. Oh yeah, she does. She knows he's Bruce. Batman is Bruce, and she confides that someone's blackmailing her. And okay, so apparently that's a scene from that's supposed to be from So she was doing adult movies before she became a 28-year-old actress playing teenage virgins. So okay. And that's an image from before she became a famous starlet. Okay. This is, oh my gosh, are you kidding me with this? Oh my lord, are you kidding me with this? What message are they trying to send here? So on the one hand, they're trying to make it out like pornography is bad. She got blackmailed for pornography, right? Doing pornography. But then you got stuff like this. Like what message are you trying to put out there? Because you're sending very mixed signals at best. It's bait and switch. It's what they do. They will use kernels of truth to disguise their real message, even if they're disguising it very poorly. I'm honestly not really even interested in the story at this point. It's just I'm just going through it because that's what we do here. I don't know. Who's he? What? All I know for sure is that this is the Joker. It's supposed to be the Joker. It's not even close like any real Joker character, but I don't know what's going on. I'm not even sure who the chick is. It's not explaining this at all. What? 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 I completely forgot about this. So Bruce Wayne's at this party. There's the Joker. I think that's the Starlet, aka Catwoman chick. Guess who shows up to the party? Hitler. Literally. So Bruce Wayne is schmoozing with Hitler. What? What? I'm just trying to understand what's going on here. I think Hitler's supposed to be in town for like a secret peace meeting? I don't freaking get this, dude. Without reading it word for word, I don't get this. What the hell, dude? I don't even know at this point. It's. Are you freaking kidding me? I'm just trying to understand what's going on here at this point. So yeah, Franklin Delano Roosevelt is meeting with Hitler. Where exactly are they going with this? Okay, it looks like a potential assassination attempt. Okay. Okay, so Penguin and Two-Face, they're involved in this. Sniper Scope. I don't know if they're targeting FDR or Hitler. What? What? is going on with this? What? I don't. Okay, without reading this is taking a hard turn. I don't know what's going on. But, okay, so we got this Joker wannabe character. He's knocked out, or either knocked out or killed somebody dressed like Batman. And now he's dressed like Batman, but he's like sniping. And, you know, he's getting ready to snipe somebody. I don't know if he's going after FDR or Hitler. Then apparently the real Batman shows up. I don't know what the hell is going on. It looks like maybe he was trying to take out Hitler. Bullet ricochets, hits the Penguin in the face. And then, I don't know if that's another Batman or if he somehow gets over there and catches up to him that fast. What? What? I have no idea what's going on at this point. Now all of a sudden there's a bunch of giant freaking props or something. Giant pen. He squirts Batman in the face with ink. Which what the fuck? So Joker's trying to get away. Climbs up this giant typewriter. Trips. This is just weird, dude. And then somehow gets impaled with the typewriter thingy that when you hit the key, it goes shh, 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 shh. Gets impaled with it. Batman's interrogating him and is dialing breath, but then he gets shot in the head. By who? I don't know. Oh, they were trying to kill both FDR and Hitler. To unite USA and Germany against England. That's their big plan. What? So Hitler shoots Two-Face in the head, apparently. He's like, remember, I have diplomatic immunity. I thought they were at war. Wait, are they not at war yet? Okay, so apparently this is before World War II broke out. So he hasn't done, like, you know, any, quote, you know, war crimes that anybody's aware of, I guess. So I guess he would have diplomatic immunity because they haven't gone to war yet. Let's get to a Foxtrot, man. So, war breaks out, as you might expect, World War II. Batman, Catwoman, and Robin go to Germany or something like that. But guess who Robin is? Hey, look, that's Alfred. Alfred is Robin. I can't you freaking kidding me with this. I guess that's supposed to be some epic, heroic ending or something, but the artwork is terrible for starters. And on top of that, the story is awful. It's absolutely awful. This is what happens when you live in a participation trophy generation, folks. along with brainwashing people with a political ideological agenda. This is it right here. This is not a comic book. This is not a comic book at all. Not even close. Dark Allegiances. That is a very accurate title, folks, but it has nothing to do with the story itself. This is awful. I expected it to be bad, and it did not disappoint in that regard. So that's okay. No, thankfully, we're done with that one. So there you have it. Elseworlds DC Batman Dark Allegiances by Howard Chaykin. He wrote and drew this issue. And what he wrote and drew tells us a great deal about this man. It's not good stuff. I ain't a saint. I haven't been a virgin for a long time. I'm not perfect. But I'm not this. No, this is not what I am. This is not Batman. This is not comic books. It's not about being perfect. It's about being decent. I honestly just don't even know what to say at this point. It's just, I expected it to be bad, and it was bad. Pretty bad. Like, holy crap. Oh. It's the ideological political propaganda. It's straight propaganda. There was no entertainment in that. Do you understand? Zero entertainment value in Dark Allegiances. This is not, there's zero pop culture, comic book entertainment value in this. Zero. The only reason I don't tear it up and throw it in the trash, it's because it's evidence. Historical pop culture evidence. Because it's not worth, for purely entertainment value, there's no value in it. There's no value in reading it for entertainment. Because there is none. And when I make, when I tweet on Twitter and whatnot, regarding topics that touch on this type of stuff, and I get these weird responses that just, they don't make any sense to me. They just, I'm not seeing the logic in what these people are saying. I'm starting to understand why. Because if this is what they grew up with, explains a great deal about modern pop culture. Why it's such a hot mess, why it's just hot trash, just a flaming dumpster fire across the board. And why these people have a problem with it, but they don't understand why they have a problem with it. This is one of the things I've been struggling with, especially doing the House of G. See, these other channels are very hypocritical in nature. They have a problem with this stuff. Get woke, go broke. They have a problem with it, but they can't seem to define why they have a problem with it. Not really. Not like they should. It's because that's what they grew up with. This is what they think comic books is. So in the 30 years, when they've taken it further and further and further, and some of these guys, this is before their time. It just gets worse and worse and worse as time goes by. They understand that they recognize there's something wrong with modern pop culture. But their statements at times, their responses at times on Twitter is just inexplicable. Because it's like they understand there's a problem with it, but then they say things and it's like, wait a minute. If you're all get woke, go broke. If you understand there's a problem with this stuff, then why are you making this statement? Why are you making this argument? Because you're contradicting yourself. You're revealing that you don't understand why this is a problem. And that is a problem. It's actually a bigger problem. If you know that there's something wrong with something, that's great. That's good. But if you don't know why it's a problem, that's possibly a bigger problem than the problem itself. Depending how immediate the threat is and whatnot. With every House of G, we learn and discover startling new things. Sometimes a piece will finally fall into place and whatnot. I think maybe one of those pieces finally fell into place here on this one. It's still mind-blowing. Yeah, I keep something in mind. I'm the original geek, the original gamer. Go back to the days of Pong. I was not there when Batman first started, when Superman first started, when Captain America first started. But make no mistake, I've been a geek and a gamer my entire life, going back a long time. Long before this hot trash became a reality. So I was very fortunate in that regard. I got a taste of real comic books, of real heroes in our pop culture before this happened. These other guys, these younger generations, that they know there's something off. They know there's something wrong with it. They sense something's not kosher, but they don't get it. They don't understand why there's something off with it. Not really. They speak out against it, but then they turn around and defend the elements of society that have given birth to modern pop culture. And they don't understand the connection, the causality. And I think I'm starting to understand why. It's a crazy world we live in, no doubt about that. Well, all right. I think we're getting about that time here. So 1 second there, cogs in the machine. All right, so we're going to go ahead and wrap up the stream here. Even with only 2 comic books, 2 issues to go through, we still hit 2 hours. Like, holy crap. Dude. You got to keep something in mind. The target length for a House of G stream, especially right now with how busy I am with my main channel, is actually 1 hour. That's my target. And we blew right through it. Like, we obliterated that. Dude, like, what? Mother Murgatroyd. It's just, oh my gosh. So, this is actually one of the shorter House of G's in recent history and everything. This is why I'm going to be dropping down to probably, depending on the issues, probably just 1 issue per stream. I don't know. We'll see how it goes, but yeah, things are ramping up over on Rebel Squadron, and I've got to focus on it right now. 110%. I've got to. It seems like I'm on the verge of an opportunity, and I gotta strike while the iron's hot, and I gotta keep it going. Just keep it going until it breaks. That's where the channel seems to be at right now. So I'm not ditching House of G. In spite of just the absolute lunacy that we have uncovered in our pop culture archaeology, specifically comic books at this time, I don't want to give up this channel. I don't want to give up what we're doing here. So that's why I'm making these changes to the overall format for the channel for the time being. If you missed it at the start of the stream, I'm changing the starting time for the House of G to 2 p.m. And the goal is to have it wrapped up around 3 p.m. And so, yeah, I mean, we've gotten... To recap, once upon a time, there was the golden age of comic books, and there was the silver age of comic books, and then there was the quote-unquote modern comic books. So here's the thing. As far as I'm concerned, the quote-unquote modern age of comic books is officially the dark age of comic books. Some very dark and twisted stuff, outright satanic. You can argue against it all you want. I don't care. It is there in your face. You have to be willfully blind to not see it. And I'm not going to waste my time arguing with fools. It's right there for you to see. So, we are currently in the dark age of comic books. It's been going on for like 3 decades at this point. Easy. Well, between 2.5 and 3 decades. Easy. Yeah, that was 96. 1991 was the first one. There was a quiet Satan, a dude named his dog Satan, so that was in there. But by and large, the story wasn't too janky. But it was definitely influenced, let's put it that way. So that's proof that they had their foot in the door, but they hadn't taken over. So I'm still sticking with around 94, 95, the Great Divergence. They took over completely. And I think, unless I've missed something in my collection at this point with the stuff we're going to be going over, I think we have finally passed through the Dark Ages part of my comic book collection. I'm hoping that's true, because I don't know if I can take much more of this at this point. I need to get some of the good stuff, man. I need some of the good stuff. I know it's not going to be perfect as far as, stories and characters and whatnot. I know it's not going to be perfect, but it has to be better than this. It has to be. Because I'm just questioning a great deal of my childhood at this point. Let's put it that way. And that is not quite what I was expecting when I started the House of G. Formerly Rebel Rant. It's just, it's just mind blowing at this point. This is supposed to be fun, it was just supposed to be fun. I was trying to be lighthearted. I was trying to put a different spin on it and stuff like that. The stuff we've uncovered through this pop culture archaeology has just been so insidious and just dark and twisted and just grotesque at times. There's no way to spin that in a way that's just fun. It's too grotesque. So I'm really, really, really hoping we've gotten through the dark ages of my collection. Because I need some of that fun factor. I bailed on comics in 2012 because of this garbage. I'm realizing that it took a long time for me to get to that point. Possibly longer than it should have. Because let's go with 1994. 1994, 1995, that's when I should have, all things being equal, and having they slipped this stuff under the radar. I'm not knocking anybody for not catching it sooner, because this was intentional. This was planned. So and that includes myself. I'm caught myself some slack with this. I'm not knocking people for not catching it, because these people were very methodical about it, very slick about it. They knew what they were doing when they did it, and that's how they've gotten away with it for so long. around 1994, 1995, Great Divergence. 2012 was when I bailed, like officially bailed. There was a last gasp attempt in 2013. I picked up some He-Man Masters of the Universe issues. They weren't completely terrible, but there were definitely some problems with them. But it was just a last gasp attempt. It's like drunk dialing your ex-girlfriend. That's what it was, pretty much. 2012 was when I cut the cord. So 94 for 18 years. It took me 18 years, give or take, to finally understand what was being done to comic books, pop culture. Finally say enough is enough. I've had it. They put that, and it's taken other people even longer than that. I'm not blaming them. I'm not coming down on them, because I've been a geek my entire life. I mean, it's the heroic side of human nature and stuff like that that's supposed to be explored and celebrated within the pages of a comic book. And that's how it used to be. That's how it used to be. It used to be a great deal of goodness, decency, morality in our pop culture and comic books. And it's not just comic books. They've done it across the board. Movies, television, books, regular books. You name it. They've co-opted it, hijacked it, twisted it, subverted it, destroyed its what it actually used to be in this country. I'm not mad at the fans. No, I'm mad at the people. Well, I'm mad at the people that did this. Now, when it comes to the modern stuff, people should know better at this point. At this point, there is no real excuse for it at this point. However, over the last 30 years, it's understandable why it would take so long for somebody to figure it out and catch on. The more we deep dive pop culture archaeology here through my collection, the clearer the picture gets, and the worse I realize that it actually was over just the last 20 years long, 15, 18 years. Holy crap. Because when you're buying this stuff in good faith, you're going into it with a specific mindset. This is going to be a honest story, an honest transaction. So you open up the pages and you're so excited about it. You're like, hey, that's my favorite character. This is Batman, this is Wolverine, whatever. You read it, it's like, wait, that's kind of weird, that's kind of janky, but it's human nature. You take it and you just like, that's kind of weird. Boom, you shun it to the side and you forget about it. You keep on reading, and they throw in the little tidbits. It's like, oh well, yeah, that was actually pretty cool. It's like being in an abusive relationship to an extent. They dump all his trash. You spend money on it. They throw his trash in there, and then they throw you the occasional shiny object to keep you happy and distracted. And then they make money off of it and do God knows what with that money. That's part of the problem that I think a lot of people are still aren't getting. Is that when you spend money on this stuff, you are supporting their ideology, their agenda, their values, not yours. You're the one spending the money. They're the one reaping the reward for their work. So if you know it's janky and you spend money on it anyways, it doesn't matter if you don't agree with it. You're supporting their entire agenda. And that's why you got to cut the cord. Guess enough is enough. If you know what these people are about, if you know their ideology, if you know their morals or lack thereof, you cannot give them money. Plain and simple. Not for stuff like this. Now, if they're working at McDonald's flipping burgers, that's one thing. When it comes to pop culture, you're not just watching a television show. You're not just reading a comic book. Okay. There is always an agenda behind it. Whether it's a good agenda or a bad agenda, whether it's political or just, moral decency, like legitimate, true moral decency, like, these comic books used to be, Superman, Captain America, Batman, you know, truth, justice, the American way. They've erased that. Superman is no longer about the American way. Superman is now, they have officially made Superman part of the New World Order. They're not even hiding it, folks. It's right there in your face. So if you spend money on it, you are supporting their agenda of the New World Order. Doesn't matter if you don't agree with it. It's irrelevant. The simple fact is you handed over that money. And in doing so, you have financially supported their New World Order agenda. This is not conspiracy. This is a simple fact. That is why in the modern age, you don't have an excuse anymore. There's so many channels that have been talking about this stuff, get woke, go broke. You have no excuse anymore. Everybody's aware of it at this point. Leading up into this modern time frame, you got some leeway. But especially in the last few years, there's no excuse anymore. Just stop supporting this trash. Just stop. Just stop. Just stop. Just gotta stop. I cut the cord in 2012, and trust me, I don't miss it. I miss what comics used to be. The legitimately good stories and everything like that. It's modern. What they did with it, the subversion, the great divergence, it's not worth. It's not worth spending the money finding those very rare little gems that they let slip into to mollify you and keep you happy and keep you spending. It's not worth it. It's not. And this country is about to go through some really, in the last couple of years have been rough. This country, the world at large, we're about to go through some serious stuff. Make no mistake. And when we get into it, when it really begins in earnest, and I believe it's gonna start very soon. When we get through the other side, people are waking up. But even with the amount of people that are waking up, I just have a feeling that they still don't fully grasp the full extent of what's going on. Not really. When it comes to light, it's finally revealed, and everybody finally sees the full truth of it. I don't believe most people are going to be ready for it. They're not going to believe. They're going to be shocked and horrified and appalled. And I don't know. We'll see. But it all ties in together. Pop culture matters. Pop culture is not just about kiddie books and whatnot. Pop culture has an immense influence. Make no mistake. It matters. And it's very much tied into reality. Real world events. Even if the stories don't explicitly touch on those things. I just can't. That was a Dark Allegiance. It was a terrible story, terrible artwork, some very inappropriate stuff. It does not belong in a mainstream comic book, especially with these types of mainstream characters. It doesn't belong there. And there's some stuff going on with modern versions of Batman. People are like shocked by it. Hey, guess what? They've been pulling this shit for like 25 years. I don't know. People think it came out of a vacuum, but it didn't. They've been doing this for a long time. Okay, well, I think it's going to wrap this one up. Nuggets, man. I just when we go through one of these issues, it's just that bad. It's just like I gotta get it out. I got too much other stuff to do, and my other channel is not. My other channel, I'm trying. It's the opposite side of it. It's about getting back to the heart of gaming, having fun, having a good time. That's what I'm trying to focus on over there. So before I get back to work on that, I got to get this out of my system here on the House of G, because I can't take that with me over there. I think I'm ready to. I think I'm ready to get to it. So this is I cannot believe the world we live in right now. I don't know. We're about to go through some as bad as it's been over the last couple of years, we're about to go through some rough stuff very, very soon. I can only hope and pray that it's short-lived. But no matter how short-lived it is, believe me, it's going to get worse than it is now before it gets better. I can only hope and pray it's short-lived. And that when we get through it to the other side, that not only my country, but the world at large is smarter and wiser and humbler for it. And more willing and ready to fight back. That's the hope. You got to keep that spark of hope alive. All right, guys. Okay. There you have it. Say Sausage G. Hope you're having a good Monday there, kicking off your week and whatnot. It is not all doom and gloom. It's you gotta, like when I say you gotta keep that spark up alive, I mean that with 100% sincerity. It is not all doom and gloom. Life is good, even with the lunacy that goes on at times. Life is good. Life is a miracle. Life is good. You gotta remember that. You gotta hold on to that, especially with whatever's. I don't know how it's going down. Not exactly, but it's going down. Whatever happens, you gotta hold on to that. Get through it. There's a book out there that will never let you down. Will never lead you astray. It's the good book. I've gotten more familiar with it over the last 5-10 years than I ever have in the past. And I'm a preacher's kid. Daddy was a preacher. Granddaddy was a preacher. And there's still, not going to go down that rabbit hole, but there's still a great deal I was not taught that I should have been taught. And I had learned the hard way. Somebody else had to teach me these things. And he's done a very good job of it, let's put it that way. So yeah, I highly recommend that book. It's a very good book. Will not lead you astray. It will not let you down. No matter what you're going through, no matter what we're about to go through, it's got what you need. You can take that one to the bank. All right, guys. Yeah, it's just, yeah. It's that time. Okay, let's do this. Boom. Hope you're having a great Monday there. Hope this helps to kick off the week for you, even with the craziness that we just went through. Oh, Murgatroyd. Dude, I mean, oh my goodness. It's just, it motivates me more and more. It doesn't, you cannot let it beat it down. You take this stuff, you gotta let it motivate you, let it fire under your ass, And it's like, do something about it. That's what I'm doing here. Whatever is going on in your life, you can do something about it. Just figure out what that is. There's a right way to go about it. Figure it out. And you'd be surprised what you can accomplish. All right. Well, have yourself a fantastic day there, and I hope you have a great week. See you next week. Next Monday's House of G. We will be shifting gears here, hopefully. Hoping that the dark age of comic books is behind us, as far as my collection goes, at least. We will see. Yeah, it's. I got some good issues coming up. At the very least, they're popular issues from going back ways before the great. Actually, I'm not sure about the date. They're big issues, though. They're big issues. Yeah, I need to check on the dates on those. But the stories that the comic book community, by and large, just loved them. So it's been a long time since I read them myself. So this will be interesting to see what we pick up on. But I'm hoping they're going to be good stuff. So you'll see. Just stay tuned. Doggy. All right. So with that said, I think I'm going to wrap things up here finally. I know I've said that before, but I think that's the time I actually mean it. And I always have a great rest of your Monday and a fantastic week. And we'll see you next week on the House of G. All right. This has been the House of G speaking once again into the void.